But for me, it's unimaginable. And that's not an attempt to be humble. This is unimaginable. And for anybody that's gone through this and felt it, it's not something you think about as you're growing up. It's unimaginable. I want to thank Jerry Colangelo, John DeLeva, the Board of Governors, the trustees, and all those that voted to make me part of this honor. As I look around and meet the colleagues with whom I share this dais tonight, it's a pretty crazy feeling to be included in that. When I look out here and looking at all these faces that are legends, I'm not speechless. I find it hard to find all the words to describe what's going on in my chest right now. All the pictures and the artifacts in the Hall of Fame. It's a long way from growing up in Sunnyside, East Chicago, Indiana, and going under Klein Avenue to Franklin grade school, where I shot my first basket. Because we all remember where we fell in love with this game. And for me, it was there. That asphalt ground and that moon-shaped backboard. It kind of ages me, I guess. But I can't remember if it was a net or if it was that iron mesh thing. But it went in and it was done. I was seduced. Dribbling downtown East Chicago and going to the Catherine House to play ball, or going to the Gary, Indiana Armory to practice with biddy basketball for Doc James. All those days and nights out on the playground at 39th and Broadway in Gary, or out in Griffith Parks, those are the things that came back to me as I was thinking about standing here. And I know that everybody has a personal story, so I'll stop at that. But it made me ask the question, what the hell am I doing here? How did this happen? It's hard to describe. Because I'm a Division III guy. Guys like Coach Hicks are my idols. Those guys, that's really I was going to wear my Pomona Pittsburgh shirt, but I thought Jerry would shoot me. I figured it out why I'm standing here. I had half a brain. It took me a few days. I decided there were two reasons. One of them is a bit lengthy because it includes the thank yous that are appropriate. The second one is really quick. But I want to thank Coach Vermillion, who would open the gym for me in Merrillville, Indiana, when I'd come back from leave from the academy, so I could stay in shape. He wasn't a basketball coach, he was a baseball coach, my chemistry and physics teacher. But he had faith in me and made me believe that I could play a little bit. Moving on to the academy, I had the opportunity to play for Coach Bob Spear. He was my iconic shuffle guy. I learned a lot of discipline. I didn't shoot very much. He took a shot about every 1.5 to 2 minutes in the shuffle. But he was a great man, and was followed by another wonderful man named Hank Egan, who's a very underrated coach. He took over at the academy. I played for him on the junior varsity team, and he gave me my first job at the prep school at the academy as a head coach. Also, this will be hard to believe, when I got here, Ken, I was a little bit of a wise ass. I know you all know that now I'm a totally mature, controlled individual. But he would boot me out of practice at least once every week and a half. Just tell me to leave. And at the military academies, that's not a good thing for you. It causes a lot of trouble. Right? He was special, and he deserves those things. Then things get crazy. This can't happen to anybody. But I guess it began when I actually was able to try out for the Nuggets. I was 26 years old, and Larry Brown and Doug Bowe were the coaches. Suffice to say that when the camp was over, Larry and Doug told me that it would be best if I got a coat and tie. And they had the vision. I know it was a tough decision for them, but they cut me and kept David Thompson. So I knew pretty quickly that it was over and started on that path. Coach Brown, for some strange reason, when he went to San Antonio, he brought me along while I was at Pittsburgh in Pomona, which is called Pomona Pittsburgh. People don't understand that. It's two Division III schools put together. A wonderful Division III program. And I was fat, dumb, and happy. I had a couple of assistants. They're my first assistants in basketball, really. Charlie Katzenfikas, a Tufts graduate from out east here. Lee Wimberly, a Stanford grad, who went to the Bolt School, law school in Berkeley. These two idiots accepted an offer from me for $1,000 per year. And Charlie, who's still the coach, so Coach Hickson can get after him for this. I also added to his contract if he painted the dorms at Pomona and Pittsburgh, he'd get an extra stipend. And these guys both took the job. So I owe them a great deal. Started me out, taught me a lot. We had great camaraderie. Why Larry took me from there, I'll never know. I didn't help him very much. But the odd part about it was that it was after a sabbatical year where this is the incredible part. I got to spend an entire season at both Kansas and North Carolina with Larry and Coach Smith. And Roy, thank you, Marty. Thank you for being so kind and supportive while I was there. We don't have to go through the details of where he put me and where I had to be, but a whole year with those two guys, that was like serendipity times 10. And I'm very, very grateful for that beginning. From there, for those purists, those people, Coach Smith, Coach Brown, that would teach from morning till night, and if you were in a rocker step and you were an inch off, they were on your butt. From there, I went to Nelly. That's a different world. Speaking of Nelly, he's in no danger out there in Hawaii for a couple of different reasons, but heart goes out to all the people out there that are suffering so much right now. It's a tough situation. He was the master of gaming the system. Coach Riley was that, right? He knew what to do with matchups. He knew what the rules were. He knew how to use them. He was a great manipulator of the game. When I think of him, I can still think he had like 3 or 4 guys standing at half court and somebody going one-on-one over here back in the day. He was a little bit different in that regard. But I love him. He's a great guy. I've been blessed with great owners from the very beginning. Red McCombs, an iconic figure, philanthropist, a great man, brought the team to San Antonio, and was a great mentor for me. He's no longer with us, but the influence he had on me was tremendous. Then General Robert F. McDermott bought the team and kept it in San Antonio when everybody thought it was going to leave. David had a lot to do with it staying in San Antonio. So, and then the team was bought by the Holt family, our current owners. Peter Holt and Juliana Hahn Holt were fantastic. They set the tone for our culture, the demands, the standards that we're still trying to live by. At this point, on a day-to-day operation, they've turned it over to their children, to Peter John Holt and his sister Corinna, who I'm very grateful for in the sense that they've been just as trusting as their parents. They allow us to do our jobs. We keep them informed, but so far they've sent me no out-of-bounds plans or anything like that. Really indebted to them. The fans have been great, just like in every city. What are you people doing? Who invited you? It's a pretty large town, but it's a very small town atmosphere. And they think we belong to them. And we kind of like it because we feel responsible to them. So thank you all. We're going to continue to try to do our best. Thanks for sticking with me. I told you the first reason why I'm standing here will take a little bit of time. But number two is that quick. So don't worry about it. Special thank yous. USA Basketball. Jerry Colangelo fulfilled a lifetime dream of mine by having the trust in me to coach the Olympic team in 2020 in Japan. And it wasn't easy, but it happened, and we won. And for him, I'm a servant for the rest of my life. I'm very grateful to him. Thank you. Along with Jerry, there are a couple people that need to be mentioned. Sean Ford, he's Jerry's right-hand man, now Grant Hill's right-hand man, since Grant Hill has taken over. And he'll do a fantastic job. But Sean Ford, for those that know him, this will make sense. For those that you don't, you might be fortunate enough to run into him sometime. He could be the athletic director at any college. He could be the GM at any NBA team. He could be the damn president of the United States. He really could. He's that special, and he works that hard. He's with the team right now. I think they play Slovenia today. Prelim kind of deal. So Sean Ford is important. Jim Tooley is the bureaucratic guy. He's the guy that guides the whole thing at some level, like behind closed doors that none of us ever see. Does a good job. And then lastly, as far as USA Basketball is concerned, is a big thank you to my friend Coach K. He was so supportive. He brought me in early to make sure that I got up to speed, knew what the heck was going on, and through the whole thing has always been there for advice and counsel, and I appreciate it very much. All those players, you just four of them. And there were a lot of times when they were a pain in the ass too. But there's a whole lot of them. Some of them are here tonight. But to all those players, all the coaches that have been there, some of my fellow presenters here, especially those that had a little bit of age on them like me. We've seen a lot of players, a lot of assistant coaches, physio people. A huge thank you to all of you. I don't want to make a mistake and omit, but without them, nothing would have happened. They had a little bit to do with it, but all those people, the work that they put in, the loyalty, the support is beyond comprehension. I'm very, very grateful to them. 3 people that have been with me from the beginning, from my first day until tonight, right now. There are only 3 in the whole San Antonio organization. And the first one is a person who should be standing right here. And without him, there would have been much, much less success. And that's R.C. Buford. PJ is angry because I didn't say his name. Oh, I love you. The second one is Will Sevening, simply trainer of the century. And our PR director, believe it or not, from then until now, Tom James. He has the unenviable task of muzzling me when I get on one of my soapbox deals here and there. He counsels me and tries to hold me back and tells me how much trouble I'm going to be in. But he's a special guy. I have a family. People think that I just do basketball. I don't really like it that much. You know what? Basketball doesn't love us back, does it? We use it like a bar of soap, right? It pays our bills, it gives us a wonderful life. But I don't remember it saying I love you, Pop. You know, it's different. It's the family. It is the deal. And my wife, Erin, of 42 years, was our center of gravity. She was our rock and made everything worthwhile and meaningful. In her place now, the family has done a great job of keeping it going. My son Mickey is here, artist, musician from Seattle. And I had a dream. I thought, is there a chance there's a team in Seattle? Is there a history in Seattle that we're missing? Where's Gary here? Where's Gary? Am I right? Come on, man. Seattle. My daughter Jill, who has taken over the mantle and keeps us all on the straight and narrow. She doesn't talk to me about trades as much as my wife did. You know, wives hate trades. You know, they make friends and everything. They say, I just traded Joe Blow. You're an idiot. Why would you do that? Those are great people. It's the business. You know, I don't care to hear about your business. You know, these are people. That kind of thing. And Jill, you're doing a great job. You and Vicki, love you to death. Her husband, Christopher, is here. Mr. Solid, never up, never down, just steady. Appreciate you. Megan, my sister-in-law, she keeps us all loose, takes care of us all whenever she's in town. And then the stars of the show. And I know all of you out there know who the stars of the show are. That's the grandkids. That's the grandkids. Bridget, stand up, Bridget. Stand up, stand up, stand up. I don't think you can see Finn. Finn, where are you? Stand up. Raise your hand. It's the truth. You know, I tell my son and my daughter, I love you. It's not that it's gone away, but you guys are a little bit boring now. There's nothing else I can give you. You're on your own. Get out of here. Give me the kids. You know, that's what it's all about. So, thank you for your patience, but that's the first reason why I'm standing here. The second reason involves one word, so it's going to be quick. That's great, huh? One word, and that word is done.